we're going to do something a little bit different this time. I do like to build cars, but also like to build military models. So the next one I'm going to build is going to be the M151A2 with tow missile launcher, or the M220 tracking system. So this is a vehicle that was used in the late 70s, early 80s. The tow missile system. I did work on the M151A2s. Did a lot of work for those when I was in the military as a mechanic. But anyway, so we're going to build this kit. I know it's a little different than the normal cars that I build, but every once in a while I like to kind of do something a little different. So this will be the next kit on the bench, or the next work on the bench. So not too long ago I did build a M151 Jeep. See, there we go. So it was a pretty fun build. Like I said, these things aren't super hard to build. Did a little bit of work to it, but anyway, we're going to do this one and see how fun it is. So anyway, let's see what all comes in the box. Now this is a 1/35th scale military miniature series number 125, and this is a Tamiya. So shows you a lot of the different ways that you could do it. But inside the box we have a lot of different parts, so let's just see if we can get them all laid out here real quick, and then we'll review them and see what all we got inside of here. Okay, so it's got a little piece of paper in here that talks about Tamiya tips. As you can see, this is written in English, as well as I believe it's going to be Chinese. And then for some reason you get one set of instructions all in Chinese, and then one set of instructions in English. Alright, so this does give you a little bit of a background on the Jeep, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. The kit is pretty easy to build. There's not a lot of tiny parts, not a whole lot of working parts. The fun in this is getting it and then painting it so that it looks weathered and military style. So this shows to come in a you can do it in green or a camouflage green pattern, forest green. I think we're going to do ours in a desert colored, just because I like to do the desert colors. And even back in the when I was in, from 1980 to 1993, most of the vehicles were olive drab, or were a camouflage color, three color camouflage, forest style. But we did have some that were desert for when we went to 29 Palms. So obviously on the sprue you have your body assembly, your hood, a lot of little bitty small D-rings. You got a M60 machine gun, radios, things like that. So you can build this a lot of different ways. You can build it where it's just transport vehicle, or like I did with the other one where it just holds the machine gun. It gives you one guy, so that's fine. Some jerry can seats, wheels. And that's pretty much the Jeep parts right there. Not a whole lot to it. Then you have your tow parts for the tow missile. The tow missile was used it was a wire-guided missile launcher that would launch a missile, and then it was guided by a wire. So it's pretty much a fire, and then you just followed along with the launcher system, and as you followed it, the tank, the wire would guide the missile to the tank and would destroy the tank. So, and that's pretty much what these were anti-tank weapons. So, not a lot to it. So, let's take a moment, and then, oh, more thing. We do have our decals and windshield parts. This looks like it comes for a rear window, which we don't have, which is fine. But anyway, so we are going to start cutting some stuff away from the sprue, and then we'll be right back in order to begin building. Welcome back. So what we're going to do now is we're going to build the tow missile base plate, which is pretty easy goings. I mean, it's just real simple. Click that in, hit it with just a little bit of glue, let that kind of set up, and then we go with the positioning turret, which allows the tow missile operator to turn the turret. We still got a little bit of a ooh, that's a small little piece to be losing. So let me see here. Alrighty, we're going to hold off on that one. Get these little bitty handles put on here. Well, that didn't work out. Trying to do this around the camera makes it a little bit hard to do. Alrighty. Alright. So that is the base turret. Which will mount inside of the back of the Jeep right there. So we are going to get some more pieces ready and we'll be right back. Alright, so I went ahead and installed a couple of parts I needed to get installed just because I needed to see through a magnifying glass because my eyes aren't as good as they used to be. So I went ahead and took care of that, and now we're going to install a couple more parts. So these are the blackout driving lights. These are used for nighttime driving. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be, so I have to kind of jump in here with a magnifying glass every once in a while. Helps me to... Oop, I think that goes there, and it does though. Okay. Alrighty, we need one more light. The B35, so let's see if I can find it here real quick. Right there she is. Just a second, guys. Love working on military parts, but as you get older and your vision starts to kind of slide, it's a little bit harder to do. Ooh, got lucky on that one. There we go, stand her up. So that is, these lights in the front are little marker lights. This is the actual nighttime driving light for blackout driving. So it casts a small little light out in front so that you can see when you're driving. Alright guys, stand by. Alright, so I did a little bit of work off camera, kind of show you some of the things that I did. I went ahead and added the front grille. I added the spare tire mount for the tow missile system right here. I say spare tire because you can't have it mounted back here. The the tow missile won't go around. I also removed the dashboard from the windshield by using a panel line scriber, because this is actually going to be down on the front of the windshield. Is going to be down because you really can't fire tow missile with the windshield up. So we're going to go ahead and mount the hood assembly. So we'll get that glued in. Alrighty. Now, I am going to paint this prior to putting the windshield assembly on. I'll end up doing the windshield assembly painted, then I'll put it on there. Just make it a little bit easier for the painting to look more authentic. So what we need to do now is, since the kit actually gives you an additional dashboard in case you do want to cut the windshield away and use the windshield down. So we're going to mount the dashboard once I sand that down a little bit, smooth it out. If I can get it turned right. Okay. So now we're going to tilt this up. Put that in there like that. Hold it down with my finger. Put a little glue right there. Put a little glue right here. And then we'll run some more glue down through that way. We'll make sure we mash it down real good so that it locks in. That way you don't have to worry about filling any body gaps. We'll hold it down for a little bit. And there you have it. Body gaps are gone. And then this will fit on there just like that. Alright guys, we'll be right back. So I've done a little bit more work since the last time that we were on. And I've got the windshield, it's ready to get painted. So I've got the actual body painted in black. I'm fixing to go in and I'll highlight some of the areas in white just before I throw some sand color on it. Got the rear seats for the tow gunner. Got the little bracket here for the spare tire. And the spare tire fits right on there, so that fit really, really well. As you can see, I've got the tires done up. So we're good there. And then I began working on my driver. So we will hit it again with some black. I'm using Mission Models NATO black. Then I'll come back and I'll use a little bit of the white, Mission Models white. And then I'm going to hit it with Mission Models US Desert. So, and then I've still got to put together the tow missile system and the storage racks, but I'll work on that. That'll probably be in a olive drab color. The tow missile system itself will probably be sand, but the tubes and the tubes will probably be in olive drab. So anyway, I'm going to continue working on this and be right back. Alrighty, so we've got paint laid down. I went with a desert color, so we will go in here and dress it up just a little bit more. I'll add my windshield. I've got to go in and repaint my tires, the black part of the tires, although might kind of look like a little bit of desert dusting, but I'll still paint them. And I have my seat, and I'll do a wash on it with a little bit of the desert dust color to get that kind of set up. I'll paint these a little bit more of that with a little bit of black hint to it, and then I'll start adding some other stuff. We'll get this going pretty quick, and it's going to look good. Alrighty, so we've done some more work to it. I've got a little bit of weathering on it. This is the kind of like the desert version. I still got to put the windshield in. I got to put the steering wheel on. But as you can see, we've got quite a bit on it. I've got to put a fuel can over here, but it's coming along. I've still got the driver that I got to finish up on. So I'm going to keep on working on it, and we'll kind of go from there. Again, you can see tow missile, and this is just a troop transport. It has a M60 machine gun. So anyway, got a little bit more I got to do to this, but anyway, we'll be right back. Alright guys, I finished up the M151A2 with the M220 tow system or tow missile system in the back of it. So I went with a kind of a desert theme, because most of these, especially in California, were fired off out at 29 Palms, which is the desert. So just want to kind of show you where we're at. Now, if you get the Tamiya kit, and this is a Tamiya kit, it's going to be 35125. Okay, it gives you instructions, specifically instructions for two different ways you could use the decals for the Army version, or you could use the decal for the Marine Corps version. Now, in looking at these, I don't ever remember the black lines on the black lines on the headlights of any of the Jeeps. And I was in from 1980 to 1993, which the M151 was very, very popular then. But in all the ones I looked at, I do not remember the black lines across the headlights, but that's what this right here shows. Now, obviously, I did not mount the breather snorkel nor the exhaust snorkel. Those are used for, when these Jeeps come in off the landing craft You know, they'll come through the ocean up on the beach, or they'll cross a river, whatever. I didn't add it to this one. I did to my my other one, but not to this one. Wanted to kind of, you know, show you what it looked like. Most ones I saw really didn't have those. Some of them did, but the majority of them didn't. But anyway, in looking at the instructions, going by the Marine Corps version, it pretty much shows you that the decals, which I want to kind of talk about the decals. It shows decals, just the hood identifiers, USMC, which we put those on right there. And then it shows the 3131, which you'll see by my thumb, it's on there. And it talks about a 3131 on the passenger side, and then the hood mount, or the hood identification numbers, and then there's identification numbers on the rear bumpers, which that is accurate. Now, they also provide you with other decals, and one of the ones is, it'll show right here, if you put it on the fenders, it shows TP20 or TP25, tire pressure 20 or tire pressure 25. It does not indicate that for the Marine Corps version. However, when I was in the Marine Corps from 1980 to 1995, I'm sorry, 1980 to 1993, they did place the tire pressures on there. So I went ahead and did the same on mine. Okay, I remember spray painting those on there myself. So I went ahead and added those decals. One of the other things that it did not show is on the front windshield, it had a thing that said max speed 35 miles per hour, no smoking. Now, the Jeeps that I saw in the Marine Corps, we had those painted on the windshield. It would, you know, to remind the drivers that these Jeeps cannot go over 35 miles per hour because they have an independent suspension system, and they were very, very prone for rolling over. If you took a corner too fast, they would roll over. And that's why they made the, you know, speed limit 35 miles an hour, period. It's a very light vehicle. I was stationed at Motor Transport Driving School there at Camp Del Mar in Camp Pendleton, California. And we had a lot of students going through the school, and, you know, we made sure that we put those on there because a couple of students, when I was there, actually did roll Jeeps over. I was a vehicle recovery operator. I drove the big 5-ton wreckers. I'd have to go out and pick them up. So I went ahead and added that to my kit also. I did not add an antenna. I may do that here later. I have some wire I may do it with, but again, I may not. But so I finished up on the Tamiya M151A2, pretty much using the I sprayed the actual model down first in the NATO black, the whole model, and then I come back, hit it with some NATO white, kind of in some of the other high spot areas, and then I come back and I laid the Mission Models sand on the actual model in order to simulate the desert color. I went ahead and used clear amber for the turn signals and stoplight on the brake lights. So other than that, this model went together really, really nice. I may do a little bit more black headlight or highlighting on it. I don't know, I may not. I want to kind of think about that a little bit, but I'm gonna call this one right here done. The one thing I still need to do, which I've never really painted the actual figures, but I'm going to get some proper paint brushes. I need to come in and sand this down, get some of these mold lines off, and then I'm going to try to paint my figure here and see if I can get him decked out. So I've got him set up to where he'll actually fit in the Jeep, and his hand actually is on the steering wheel. I'll say I do. There we go. So he fits in there. I just got to get him painted up and ready to go. So I need to get some more paint brushes, better finer point paint brushes in order to do that. I do have some other things that I'll probably maybe be adding some of these. I got some of the Alice packs. I need to paint those up. I've got a 416 trailer that's got some jerry cans, fuel cans, some other things. I may, go ahead and put that thing together and kind of go with that. So, I've got my two type of different Jeeps here. Now on this one, I did put the USMC on there, but it faded out. It never really showed up, so I didn't worry about it too much. Kind of went with this one, just a green with a little bit of desert dust and stuff on it. Could have done a little bit better job, but I'm okay with it. So anyway, that's where I'm at. Tell me what you think. This is truly my very first attempt at weathering, or even attempting to try to make something look like it was weathered. So I know I got a lot to learn, and I am going to continue to work on that, but it'll work out. I'll get some proper weathering stuff and go from there. Anyway, again, a little bit something different than what I normally do. Normally I do 60s and 70s style cars, but I do like to do some models. I built Abrams M1 tank. I'll have to get a video of that one out. I built it several years ago, and I built an Amtrak, which if you go to my channel, down to one of the first couple of channels, you'll actually see that Amtrak. I built it when I first came back from Somalia back in '93. I got out of the Marine Corps, took some time off. The unit I was stationed with while I was over in Somalia was 3rd Amphibious Assault Battalion, so I did one of those. Take a look at that one. I may kind of get all these things together and just kind of show a military model thing. I like doing the military models. You make a mistake, it's combat damage. Love that. But anyway, so guys, I appreciate you coming. If you're new to my channel, thanks for coming and taking a look at my channel. If you are returning to my channel, thank you for coming back and checking us out. If you're a subscriber, thank you for subscribing. If not, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button if you like what you see. Hit the notification button so you'll be notified of future videos that are coming out. Leave a comment if you guys out there are the military modelers and you have an idea, or you have some ways of doing things better. Hey, go ahead and launch it out there to me. Let me know about it. If all you're gonna do is just give me negative comments, hey, go ahead and leave the negative comments. If I can get anything positive from your negative comments, I will. If not, I'm just going to ignore it anyway. But this whole community is about learning from other people. If you like something you see, go ahead and try it. If you don't, hey, if you got a better way of doing it, throw it out there. Person may like to do it, person may not. Other than that, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.